Hello, friends. How are you? I am finally on my 30th day of my 30-day challenge. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a series it has been. But yeah, for my last one of this challenge, I want to just share some reflections on 2020, the year 2020. And I guess now we can say hindsight is 2020, right? Man. 2020 was definitely an eventful year, one with lots of obstacles and different twists and turns. Definitely not like any other year beforehand. And so, you know, I kind of went back to kind of find, okay, well, what's one thing that I did over the last year. And so it's quite interesting because I don't know if you've ever gone back to kind of just through the year and just okay, what did I actually do? Funny enough, one of the things I really appreciate about Instagram, I never used Instagram, but when I started doing it, because I was posting stuff a while back with Facebook, so I could just post in both places doing it one time. So that's why I did it. And one of the things I actually really appreciate about Instagram is that it doesn't have any of all the other posts that I have. It's just snapshots of different times in my life in that year or those years. And so I can just go back and say, oh, here are highlights. And I actually really appreciate that. So unfortunately, I didn't post too much on Instagram this year. So I wasn't able to do that. However, I went back through my calendar and just kind of just picked one thing from each month to kind of just reminisce and just, okay, what did I make of that month? And so I'll share, I guess, one thing from each. So in January, I had a new partnership potentially with my casino table rentals company, and that was going to actually bring in quite a bit of extra business and income for me. And so that was because other companies saw that they could count on me and my team, and so they want to create a partnership to help them. And so I was very grateful for that opportunity. Of course, with the pandemic, that opportunity is gone. I'll revisit when we can open things up. In February, because of the opportunity, I was able to start growing my team of dealers and start training people, which meant meeting new people and just preparing really for the harvest, if you will. And then in March, as the pandemic started to hit, I wasn't really too sure how big of a thing this was, and so I just started to reconnect with old friends and family, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity. Because I think for myself, I was always out essentially every single night, every single day, just doing something. And so every day I would go home and I would conk out to sleep because I just wanted to fit in as much as I can every single day, including self-care, of course. Okay? I never had an issue sleeping. Whenever I went home, I would just conk out easily. Why? Because I gave as much as I could during the day so that when I got home, I had no more energy. And I felt great about that day. And I great about myself. In April, I started working out again. Woo! And I had stopped working out for about a year and a half because of an injury. And the pandemic gave me an opportunity to restart that. In May, I started... because we were kind of forced to go online, I started to just join a bunch of meetup groups, and a Conscious Partner was one of them. And I really liked the way Bruce and Giselle did their workshops, their classes, and so I started to talk to them about potentially bringing it to Vancouver, and so I started running my own, and so grateful for that experience. And June, a friend of mine, she approached me to run a radio show, podcast for the Vietnamese community, and so I said yes. I had some extra time now. And then July, oh my gosh, I was really stretched out of my comfort zone because that episode, my translator was an hour late and everyone else was there. So I ended up having to self-translate Vietnamese. And that was the first time in a while that I was really stretched outside my comfort zone. Like just really, oh my gosh, I was freaking out in my head, just to be upfront with you. because my Vietnamese is pretty good, but like to be on air, OMG, that freaked me out. But I did it, and fortunately, I had some great support with the people that I was interviewing that day. So August, I started to embrace more of my online store, just create some more retail business. September, started to focus more on my spiritual growth. Started to have a chat with some people about a Bible study. I attended a couple of other events, people sharing about Islam. For me, I love to learn. The only way I can learn is by getting different perspectives. And so, and for me, I've always thought that spiritual side was always really important. I just never prioritized it. And so I started doing that a number of years ago, and it has been amazing. October. So I had a little bit of a situation with my mom. She kind of, she said something that triggered me. And so I just need some space, but I'm very grateful for it because it allowed me to really understand a little bit more about myself. Then November, I did a yoga challenge. I supported my friend Nancy to go through that. And then December, Facebook Live challenge, which I'm finishing. Woohoo! And so 2020, I think, was a great year. Yes, there were obstacles. Yes, things are very different. But at the same time, I think only through obstacles and challenges can we really get a good gauge on where we're at in our life and how much growth we need to actually create and make to get to where we want or the type of life that we want to create. And so that's kind of how I saw 2020. I had my moments, definitely. I remember about a month in when the pandemic and we had those restrictions, I started getting a little antsy, right? I didn't see anybody for a while, and I didn't have a lot of social interaction. And I just started to like, oh my gosh, okay, what's going on? Fortunately, I was able to meet up with my mentor and just kind of helped me ground me. So that was, I was very grateful for that. We just had went to a pho place, and we just had a chat for like an hour and a half. So very grateful for that. And then, so for me, I just used this year really just as an opportunity to just look at a lot of different things and test out a bunch of different things. Like, who would have thought I'm running a freaking radio show? I don't know anything. I'm not a techie. I have no clue. But I have people that were there to be able to support and help in that area. So very grateful for that. And some other stuff, right? But for me, my mentality really is just, when opportunity comes, if it makes sense, say yes, figure it out, and only later can I really look back to really understand how it fits in my life. And I'll share more of that another time with a story, I guess. So all in all, like 2020, I think, I don't know, like I see a lot of people posting, oh, I cannot wait to get to 2021. I'm like, okay, why? Like, what did you do with 2020? And if you had like some mental health issues or a really hard time coping, I understand, it's all good. I'm not talking to you, okay? But really, we just had 8, 9, 10 months of a lot more time to be able to just think about life, to slow down, to really ask some important questions. And I hope, and from what I'm hearing, we probably have another 9, 10 months. So we still got some time. And I hope you take the time to actually ask yourself, okay, how is my life? Am I living my life according or aligned with my values? What are my values? Do I have the right people around me? Am I living my best life? And, my encouragement to you is to figure out what that is. It takes some time, energy to write that down and sit down and slow down. I know at times it's hard to actually literally slow down and write. But it will be so beneficial to you, I promise, right? Just ask yourself those hard questions, because that will help shape what 2021 is going to be. Because I don't see many of these restrictions lifting till earliest is this summer, but probably more like September, October, November. So we still got a ways to go, my friends. And I hope I hope you use use this upcoming number of months to actually really carve out your future, right? Seriously, I don't know when the last time I had this much extra time to explore, to try, to learn a new skill, to try different things. All right, and so that's kind of my reflection from 2020. I'm so grateful because if I didn't have this time to slow down, I wouldn't have been on this challenge, this Facebook challenge, and so I wouldn't have met the other people doing this challenge. I wouldn't be able to actually share some of these stories with you through this avenue. I usually would just share my stories with people one-to-one, and so I had this opportunity. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still alive. I have a roof over my head. I got clothes on my back, food in my belly, and so that's really all we really need, right? Outside of that, we need connection, right? If you know anybody who's going through a hard time, it might be because they lack that connection. And so, you know, please reach out to anybody you know. Sometimes the happiest people are the ones that are the loneliest. And so, you know, I always try to just put my feelers out there, and I just never know. I never know when people are going through, and you never know when a word can make such a huge difference. So, 2020. Thank you so much. Looking forward to 2021. And I will, now that I've gone 30 days, I'll probably still pop on here and there. But I'm no longer committing to every single day. But we'll see when I come on. And if you want to see what I'm up to, then click on turn notifications on. Otherwise, I wish you all a phenomenal New Year's Eve, phenomenal New Year's, and please stay safe and take care of each other. Okay? Love you. Mwah!